Okay, hi everyone. My name is Soren. I'm from EFM Nutrition. Just a quick talk today about what the Lean Challenge is. It's coming up for some clubs within EFM, and it can also be available for you. The Lean Challenge is something I developed 3 to 4 years ago as a response to a few people looking for not necessarily a weight loss, but trying to lean themselves out to look great naked. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I do, and it's basically a 30-day intervention. We look at your food, we look at your exercise, we look at your stress and your sleep to try to give you optimal results. So 30 days intervention, the aim is to give members a great kickstart to a permanent lifestyle change. We're looking for multiple aims with the Lean Challenge. One thing is we want to discover what foods you need to eat to avoid gaining weight in centimeters. We also want to reduce your inflammation caused by food and also sometimes caused by too much exercise. Inflammation is something you don't want to know too much of, but basically this is how we cause long-term damage to our body. Something is seriously pissed off, and they can very often be caused by the food you eat. We also want to reduce your gut irritation. I quite frequently see members who come in here to see me who have 3 to 4 toilet visits a day, and they think that's quite normal, but I can tell them that it's not. We want to reduce your fatigue. A lot of people stress out too much these days, and having not the optimal diet will help them get more fatigue. So we will try to help them out as well. We want to increase your energy levels. We want to see an uptake of you performing better, not just at work, but at home and also at the gym, at the EFM Health Clubs. We want to see you increase your fitness capacity and your level, meaning you can lift more and you can move more around, but also you can endure for longer without going flat. We also want to give you the most important result, which is to lean you out to something as much as possible. The first step is to look at what did we initially eat when we were put on this planet many years ago. And for the first roughly 2.5 million years, this has been our diet. It's been highly involved with having meat as a primary source. There would often be another source, vegetables of some degree. There would be maybe some fruit somewhere. There might have been some nuts. There might have been less of that. But the main part is mainly a meat content. In the later years, we've changed that quite a bit around. Today you'll find that most of our intake is based around refined sugars, refined vegetable oils, refined grains, and refined dairy as well. And it's only a small amount of the meat, eggs, nuts and seeds and fruits that used to be staple part of our food is now a less part of our food. And the question is, how are we doing? We're not doing that great, are we? We can see that people are getting larger and larger and sicker and sicker. And even though we can keep people alive for longer these days, that's only because we're being better at operating. Evolution has shown us that over the last 20 odd years, we've gone from being a stout, proud people who fought wars without having any issues to be a bunch of obese, morbidly obese people who are having a hard time doing any work at all. And why is this happening? Some people will argue that it's because we're eating more and we're exercising less, and that might be the case. But the question is, why are we eating more? Why are we still consuming more calories? It doesn't explain anything, just say it's calories in, calories out. We need to ask the question, why are we eating more? The first hint I'll give you is that if you look at all the products we've been produced today for us, you find there are some similarities. First of all, they're cheap, and I'll say in another sentence, they're cheap and nasty. They're very cheap, give you some satisfaction to some degree. They come in all shapes, and they give you some crunchy bites that we all like to chew on, and they give you some satisfaction in terms of a high salt value, a high fat value, or a high sugar value. Whether they are hard or they are liquid, they all give you something that you want, whether you know it or not. And we still see people in the trolleys in the supermarkets piling up massive loads of sugary drinks or even diet drinks as they assume that it's going to be better for them. But very, very rarely it is actually better. Quite often we see that parents will feed their kids some sort of a cheap and quick option like chicken flavored rice snacks, assuming that it's going to be healthy because it's got no fat in there. But in actual fact, we'll see that they contain a lot of ingredients, and I question, why do we need to feed our kids something that contains more than one ingredient? We all know that around certain times of year we've been spammed when we go to the supermarket to buy different products. They must relate to the season of the year. So very soon, if not already now, you will now see Easter eggs in the supermarkets. And again, they're trying to sell you a product that you like, you want it. We're also going to see some advertising that can use a lot of flavors, a lot of colors and flavors, trying to sell you by saying that it's made out of real fruit, that it contains less protein and less fat, that everyone thinks is so bad for us, and they even say it's less sugar. But when you look at the backside, you'll notice that this is all sugar because it's made out of fruit. And whether you like it or not, for some people, fruit is not the best idea. Sometimes we go out buying food, we've got no idea what's in there. But when you take one bite, you'll take one bite containing all these ingredients. And that should be enough to scare you away from eating any of these again. And I know a lot of you guys are smart enough not to go down that line. But even though you don't buy this stuff, there'll be similar products out there that'll contain just as many products, just as many ingredients, just as many E numbers you got no idea what means, and you're eating it every day without knowing it. What I found is that simplicity is the key. My aim has been to make this possible for anyone to complete. You can use this for your whole family, not just yourself, but your kids can eat this product as well. They can also eat all these recipes that I have designed. You'll find that there is no requirement for special cooking classes. You don't need any special Japanese seaweed supplements. You don't need any unknown foods, but just simple food you all at least should recognize. And the scary thing is that it works. It works very well. What we saw for the first time we did it 3 or 4 years ago was that people lost weight. They lost centimeters around the waist and the chest and the hips, even though they never were hungry. It is quite typical to see this picture that somebody will lose some centimeters of their chest, a lot of the waist and some of the hip, and they lose some kilos as well. And this is all done in 30 days. This is one of the recent pictures I've used quite frequently because this is a typical picture of a male that comes and starts with a significant amount of waste being built up over years, and within, this is not 30 days, but this is within 70 to 80 days, he saw a massive reduction in his waist size and also lost a lot of kilos. One of the things we want to discover as well is that some of you guys have got some gut irritations, and the gut irritations can be caused based on different elements. Often there's things you don't tolerate. What can they be? Well, the usual suspects contains grains, they contain dairy, legumes such as beans and lentils. It's often also fruit. It can also be alcohol and even vegetables. The thing is that most of us have a high intake of grains and dairies every day because we all eat cereal and dairy for breakfast. Then we'll have a sandwich for lunchtime, finish off with a big bowl of pasta carbonara. And even though that's supposed to be healthy because there's no fat in there, then it still makes us fatter and sicker. The main thing you need to remember is that if your gut is happy, if your stomach is happy, your body will be happy and have less inflammation. Basically means it gets healthier, but also able to drop more fat. The more inflamed you are, the more you store, the more sick you'll get. Quite often we'll find that proteins in grains, which is what we call gluten, lectins in legumes, phytic acid in both grains and legumes, will produce gut irritation of some sort. Gut irritation can be hidden or give you different symptoms such as IBS, bloating, gaining weight, fatigue, skin acne problems, inflammation, just to mention a few of them. But I also question the nutritional value of these elements. Are they really needed? Why do we need them? They don't contain any sort of vitamins or minerals, and it's very poor to fill us up. Quite often we'll see that wheat is the major troublemaker, and containing wheat because of its ability to produce gluten in your system. Some of you guys know about celiac disease. Celiac disease is basically a disease where you cannot tolerate gluten at all. It's been shown that only 1 out of 8 know they are celiac and have this typical severe reaction to gluten. That means 7 of us are walking around there with celiac disease without knowing it. It's also been shown that 50% of the human population has the same genetic disposition as celiac, basically meaning that 1/3 of us have a reaction towards gluten containing grains. It doesn't necessarily mean we are gluten intolerant, but we have gluten sensitivity, which means we should stay away from it. You will know if you have any issues with food when you, after 30 days, can reintroduce the foods that we left out. You will feel a severe reaction. You will also see results. Most will drop between 12 and 18 centimeters from the chest and waist and hip, and some up towards 30 centimeters in 30 days. You will feel a lot better. You will have more energy. You will sleep better. Your skin and hair will improve. And all the small things we don't notice will have a better impact. You will be asked if you lost weight or if you're sick. which is not very nice, but at least it means something is changing. You will see an increase in your fitness level. You will find new areas you didn't know you could do. You will see that you gain stronger as well as leaner. Not necessarily bigger. For girls, not necessarily bigger. For men, they'll get leaner and stronger. And all with the 30-day intervention that should give you enough motivation to finally achieve the goals that you wanted to do. What does the food look like? Quite often people think they have to eat something special. Well, if you think eggs is special, if you think chicken is special, or an ordinary steak is special, well then this is special. We only use food that you recognize and we know where they come from. We make them ourselves, not necessarily for a long time, but we try to make it as quick as we can, but still have the understanding that real food takes time to make and you need to chew it as well. We also give you a workout plan. We give you 30 days of workout plan. And the workout plan is designed to give you leanness, strength, and fitness. There'll be different elements. Sometimes you need to rest, sometimes you need to go hard at it. It's all depending on where you're at and your injuries and so forth. So, you will get a 30-day meal plan designed to give you optimal results. You will get 30 days exercise plan designed to make you stronger, leaner, and fitter. You get 30 days support from me. You ask me questions, I'll answer them. You get 30 days of emails. I'll send out a daily educational, motivational piece to help you gain knowledge, because we all know knowledge is power. You get a 30 days performance tracker or a diary. It helps you log your workouts and also your FES, which means food, exercise, stress, and sleep. And you got 30 days challenge. You got 30 days to get as much results as possible. We're starting on the 1st of March. Don't miss your chance to be a part of this. This will change your life.